Hello everybody and welcome to today's live learning session. I'm Heather Murdoch, I'm part of the Access Now Success team and I'm looking forward to answering all your questions that you have today. So on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. British Standard Time, I put 1 hour aside to do this live learning session so that you get the opportunity to ask any questions that you would like about Ezoic, the wider publishing space, your data, or just any concerns you have about your website at the moment. I do my best to answer those questions live for you so you're able to take away that information and then work on your site. And where I'm not able to, either because that's not my speciality area or because we need more information, better to get that information in a way that protects your account security, I'll make sure you've got the best next step to go to so you know how to get the answers that you're looking for. Now, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, if you take a look at your account, you'll be able to see that there's a comment section there. Please feel free to put all your questions that you have in there. Like I say, I put an hour aside on a Wednesday morning, but I do just stay online for as long as there are questions coming in. That then enables me to go to community and answer questions there or tickets as well, so that I can get back to everybody. What we'll do while we're waiting for our first question to come in, I'll just walk you through a couple of things. So the first thing I wanted to take you through today is on Ezoic YouTube channel. If we go to the live button here, you'll see that we've got some up and coming Q&A sessions. So the first one is on the 17th of April, which is about a beginner's guide to SEO. So this is very much a beginner's guide to very basic steps on how to implement SEO on your site, and also how you can use the Ezoic tools to make that process quicker as well. There'll be some slides to take you through the information, and then also an opportunity to ask questions there as well. And then alongside that, on the 26th of April, we have a Q&A about Google Ad Manager MCM. So on the 26th of April, what we'll be doing is, if you have a site that you aren't able to get passed by Google's MCM process, you can send that to us and we'll take a look at that for you live on that session and be able to give you live answers. We'll also take you through slides and also general information as well, so that if you would prefer to keep your site private, which I totally understand, you still have the information that you need to be able to get the next steps moving forward with that MCM approval process. And as always, with these sessions, they are recorded and you can watch them on playback as well. And I know many people do. So thank you so much to those of our readers who do join us live, and then also who watch on playback as well. Hi, Happy Kid. Welcome to today. Thank you for joining me. So if you are watching any of our sessions on playback and you do have questions that you would like to ask, do head over to the Ezoic community. So what I do is I pin posts to the top here for the live sessions that we've had. So the live learning ones here for Tuesday and Wednesdays, they stay up there permanently. So if you are watching this on replay at any time, then do head over to there if you've got any questions that you think, oh, I really wish I was there and I'd ask that. I keep a special eye on that thread and I'll answer your queries as soon as I can. I work from Saturday to Wednesday, so if you don't hear from me on Thursdays and Fridays, that's why, but I will get back to you as soon as I'm back in the office. And then for those Q&A live sessions, what I do is I also pin threads to the top there in the days before, and it stays up there for a few days afterwards as well. So if you do watch any of our Q&As and have questions on the replay, then do let us know in those threads, and I'll keep a special eye out for them. And of course, you do have the wider community as well to ask any questions that you have. You can use this search bar at the top here to type in the question that you've got and see if anybody else has asked it before and the information that we've given them. That enables you to get instant answers on different different things that you could try or that you could check on your own site. And then, of course, if you aren't able to get the answers that you're looking for, you can start a new thread here as well, with your query on, and we can take a look at that for you. Okay, so just waiting for our first question to come in. So just while we've got time to, the thing that I like to show you all as well is the Ezoic blog. There's a wealth of information in here, and I know how busy you folks are. So if you get a chance, I would definitely recommend signing up to our newsletter. These articles then drop straight into your inbox, and when you've got a few minutes, you can take a look at them and then put the best practices into place when you're next working on your site. The latest one is about ChatGPT for social media. I find this particularly interesting because I run the Access Now Twitter account. I'm always looking for new ideas of how to get all the information, because there's a wealth of information that we have conveyed into such a small space within the Twitter word count. So I found this particularly interesting, from that point of view. I'll pop it into the chat. I'm sure as well for all you folks, there'll be a lot of information in here as well that will help you to grow what the work you're doing on social media. And I think from my point of view as well, what's really interesting about ChatGPT is that it helps you not only to generate new ideas or new ways of thinking, or be able to get content creation created that you can then edit, but it also helps you to speed up all your processes as well. And I can understand how much you're juggling as publishers and how much you've got going on. I think time's precious, isn't it? So by being able to speed things up by using ChatGPT, it enables you to have more time on other areas of your life. Okay, so we've got our first question come in from Happy Kid. Thank you so much, Happy Kid. So the question has to do with recent urgent issues impacting revenue. Okay, for that one, I think that's the new button that we've got, isn't it? That talks about the recent urgent issues impacting revenue, and there are elements in there that you can kind of click on and fix yourself, or elements that you can request help from our team as well. If you can let me know which part of that, Happy Kid, that you would like to ask a question about, I'd love to help you with that. And then your second question is, my domain keeps getting denied by domain status, but I have been approved by MCM. It's been 2 months already. Oh, that is unusual for a site to be approved by MCM, but not by Ezoic. You've kindly put your blog domain name in there. So what I'll do is I'll take a look at that on my second screen that I've got here and see if I can find any notes for you. Bear with me, because what's going to happen is my sound's going to go off and you're all going to think that I'm not here because of that, but I am here. It's just the way it works in terms of when you go to a different screen with the streaming technology. So I'll take a look at that. Oh, you've said it has been approved by Ezoic. So you've been approved by Ezoic and approved by MCM. Could you clarify for me? So you say ad status keeps getting disapproved. Is that AdSense that keeps getting disapproved? Or have you been approved by MCM for your account, but this particular domain isn't getting approved? Is that right? Okay. So with that, there's two different aspects to MCM. So the first of all, what Google checks is your overall MCM account, which needs to first of all be approved. And then once you've got that approved, every domain that you add into Ezoic also needs to be approved by Google. under MCM before ads can show on it. Sometimes sites go through straight away, other times sites are denied, but a few tweaks, we're then able to get it past MCM, and other times sites just aren't able to be passed by MCM because of content or the structure of the site. So what I would recommend doing, Happy Kid, is if you're an Access Now publisher, reach out to us on community, and what we can do is we can take a detailed look at your site and give you suggestions in terms of what you can do. Or if you're level 1 or higher, you can then reach out directly to the publisher success team, and then we can take a look at that for you. There is an article which walks you through all the different types of reasons why Google MCM might be denied. And what I'll do is I'll just go and get that for you, and I'll pop that in the chat. That then enables you to start working through it and just cross-matching what's on there, what's on your site, and it might just be with a couple of tweaks that we can get this site approved for you. So bear with me, I'll be back in just a moment for you. Okay, so I'm just going to pop into the chat there the domain MCM approval, how to fix it article. So this talks you through every single issue that we've come across, why Google MCM has been disapproved, and also the steps that we've found that by changing things on your site, this then helps get that site approved. What we do is we keep a careful eye on the MCM process, and if we start to find that Google is looking for something on your site that isn't on that article, we do also then update that article as well, so that it has our most up-to-date best practices on there from what we understand from Google. So we've got a new question that's come in from Vivek Gupta. Thank you so much for joining us today, Vivek. Vivek has said, how do I know whether my MCM is approved? So what you can do, Vivek, is if you go to your Ezoic ads tab and then go to ads transparency, there's a button there that says MCM. If you click on that, you'll be able to see your approval status. So there's two different aspects to the MCM approval. The first of all is your overall account, and then second is each domain within that account as well. That button or that tab will let you know the status of each one, and you'll then be able to move forward from there. If you find that you've been disapproved for MCM at a domain level, we also put a link to the article that I've just shared as well to help you to be able to work through that. And where Google gives us notes on why they have disapproved the site for MCM, we do share that with you within that tab as well. Okay, so Happy Kid has said, for the urgent issues impacting revenue, my question had to do with, let's say, for example, I don't use AdSense, but it suggested it's an issue impacting revenue. So what we do is we do recommend for all sites to have an AdSense account, to link it to Ezoic through mediation, and to get mediation set up. The reason for that is it puts Google in a position where it has to outbid itself and everyone else to put ads on your site. So this increases competition, which is always a good thing around advertisements, because it means that potentially your EPMV could go up, and also you could earn more revenue as well. So that's why we have it on there, that it's an issue impacting revenue. Of course, as a publisher, you don't have to have an AdSense account. You just need to be in good standing with AdSense. So if you've never had an AdSense account, by default you are in good standing, and you also don't have to have mediation set up. if it's a choice that you want to make. But we do recommend it, like I say, because it could be impacting revenue. Some sites only earn a cent or two a day from mediation. Other sites I've seen sort of occasionally earn $10 or $20 from mediation. So it does really depend on your niche and the traffic that you are drawing to your site. If it's traffic that Google struggles to be able to find on the internet and to be able to put ads in front of, you may find that you do very well through mediation. So it's something that's definitely worth considering. So the next question from Happy Kid is, also, I'm being told to add Flickrfy videos. I have done that, but still the issue shows. So what this is showing is that every month you get either 5 videos, or if you're on premium, 100 videos that you can then create and add to your site. So if you haven't used up your full total of Flickrfy videos, then in the urgent issues impacting revenue, it will show there that you haven't used up your full Flickrfy videos, and that you've got that option. So that's why that's showing. When you use up all your Flickrfy videos for that month, it will disappear. But then on the next month, when the new month starts and the new allocation starts, it will reappear again. And that's just a way of us being able to remind you of the opportunities that you have. Flickrfy videos, once you make them, if you've got the grow and the engage buttons switched on and Humix switched on, those Flickrfy videos go to your site, and they can help with your standing with Google, with traffic, with your brand, and then also your revenue as well, and your user experience metrics. But also they go into the wider Ezoic network, where other publishers can put those videos on their site as well. So there's a lot of benefits to using those Flickrfy videos in the full quota. So that's why we have that in the urgent issues tab there. So Happy Kid has said, also, I have fixed Leap for optimization. That also shows up as an issue impacting revenue, but I have fixed all of this, but it still shows in my dashboard. That is strange. I'm wondering if something's cached there. If you take a look at the issues impacting revenue, there's a button, and I can't quite remember where it is, so bear with me on this. I think it's on the left-hand side, which is says refresh updates. If you click on that, what it will do is it will ask our system to recheck all the issues impacting revenue to check if they've been fixed or not, and it will remove any that it's found that it's fixed. If you find after that the Leap optimization is still showing there, what I would recommend doing is, if you're an Access Now publisher, do reach out to us on community. Level 1 or higher, reach out to the publisher success team. We can take a look at that and see if there's a glitch happening in the issues impacting revenue tab, or if there's something within your Leap optimization that we can help you set up, which will help your core web vitals and also your standing with Google as well. So our next question is from Maluda. Welcome, Maluda. Thank you for joining me today. He says, I don't see my levels in my dashboard, only seeing Trailblazer. Okay. Maluda, are you from France or Germany or Italy at all? I know for publishers who are based in France, Germany, or Italy, and with our language teams at the moment, they don't have access to levels, and that's because our team is very small compared to the English speaking team. So we don't have the same amount of opportunities to move up into the levels. Once you move over to the publisher success team, you stay with the one publisher success manager currently, and so that might be what's happening. If you're not based in France, Italy, or Germany, what might be happening is that so Maluda said, I just relocated to Ghana. Oh, that's strange. Okay. What I would recommend doing, Maluda, is reach out to community We can take a look at that for you, see what's happening, and then be able to get that updated for you, so that you're on the correct dashboard and are able to get access to levels. For community, just in case you folks haven't come across that before, the URL is community.ezoic.com. I'll pop that into our chat here so that you can bookmark that for later. Okay, so BABC blog has said, is traffic a factor while joining the Access Now program? And can I run ads after joining the program? So BABC blog, no, with the Access Now program, you can be a brand new site that doesn't have any traffic of note coming to it, and still join our Access Now program. The Access Now program was designed for publishers who are brand new to the publishing space and have got a website, it's got content on it, but don't have traffic to it. The Access Now program will help you to get the Ezoic dashboard all set up, will support you with getting MCM set up, and then also you have access to Charlie in the US, who's my colleague out there. He does live learning sessions similar to this, so Charlie will be able to help you understand how to grow your traffic, how to use all of Ezoic's tools, use your data. You can run ads after joining the program. You do need to make sure your website is approved through the Google MCM process, just the same as any other publisher, but the team can help you with that. So if you haven't joined us or have recently joined us, we look forward to welcoming you on board BABC blog. So Maluda has said, I've been on Ezoic for 4 months plus. No problem. I'm not quite sure what's happened, Maluda, with your account at the moment. But if you can reach out to us on community, we can certainly take a look at that for you, and be able to get you into the right levels dashboard. With levels, it does enable you to move up and progress as you grow your visits and also your revenue as well. It gives you that opportunity to be able to see what the next steps are. So yeah, do reach out to us on community, and we can certainly take a look at that for you. So BABC blog has said, how do I talk to the team? No problem. Have you signed up to Ezoic at all at the moment, BABC blog? Okay, so you have signed up, but you've got disapproved by Google. No problem. What I would recommend doing is if you go to community.ezoic.com, and again, I'll pop that link into the chat there, just so you can bookmark that for later. And then if you go to the Access Now onboarding assistance and troubleshooting section here, you'll be able to ask a question to the team and find out what's happening about your Google disapproval and be able to get any advice on that. Also, do join us for our next YouTube live session on the 26th of April, which is all about Google Ad Manager MCM, so that you can then ask questions live. And if you would like to, you can also share your website with us, so we can use that as a live example. And then you've got that advice that you can then work on. What I'll do as well, BABC blog, bear with me. I'll just get a link to that support article again. Bear with me. Okay, it's not allowing me to move it down, but I've shown it on the screen there, BABC blog. So that article, if you move further up in the YouTube chat, you'll be able to see a copy of that link there, so you can bookmark that for later. Or if you just Google support.ezoic, disapproved by Google MCM, you'll be able to find that in Google and then work through all the different steps there. Within that article, we do take you through every single different variation of Google disapproval that we're aware of, and the steps that you can take to fix that as well. As I mentioned before, when we know of different things that Google's looking out for, we do add that to that article and update that, so it's the most relevant document that we have around Google MCM disapproval. So I hope that helps, BABC blog. Do reach out to us on community as well, in the Access Now onboarding assistance and troubleshooting channel, and we'll then be able to give you direct advice by looking at your site and working through that article in terms of the recommendations that we found in the past works. Okay, well, thank you all so much for the questions that you've had coming into me so far. I really appreciate you joining me, and then being able to also for me to have the opportunity to answer your questions. It's one of the highlights of my week, is being able to do these live sessions with you. Trust News has said, hi Heather. Hi Trust News, welcome to today. Thank you for joining me. So what we'll do is I'll stay on the line. Oh, we've got another question coming in. Trust News has said, my AdSense got limited after connecting with Ezoic. What I would recommend doing with this, Trust News, is are you with the Access Now program, or are you with a business development specialist? Okay, perfect. So what I would do, Trust News, is if you reach out to community on the Access Now onboarding assistance and troubleshooting, and let the team know what's happened. If you've got a screen grab of the reasoning that AdSense has given you, obviously make sure it doesn't have like your publisher ID or your email address in that screen grab, just the reason that AdSense has given you as to why the limiting has been taken place. The team can take a look at that for you and be able to advise what the next steps are to get that resolved, so that AdSense sees that you've made those changes, and the limiting will then get lifted. There can be numerous different reasons why that limiting has been put in place by AdSense. Ad limiting, though, is a on the scale of sort of different reasons why AdSense does block sites from showing ads. Ad limiting is one of the ones that can mean that it can get overturned quite quickly. So there is good news in that. So Trust News says, I'm being told it's invalid traffic, but all my traffic comes from search. That is strange. Do you have any bots on your bot protection, apologies, on your host at all? That can be one of the really good things to be able to stop invalid traffic coming through to your site. Another thing to be mindful of is if you're working with any SEO companies or paid ads at all. Have you done that in the last few months? So you've said not at all for your host and bot limiters. So what I would do as a first step then, Trust News, is definitely reach out to our team. We can work with you and support you, but also alongside that, reach out to your host and speak to them about what bot protection that you've got in place. That might resolve this for you quite quickly. And then also do let us know if you're working with any SEO companies or done, so you've done social media traffic in the past. Okay. So what can happen with advertisements of any kind to get traffic to your site? The way they behave in terms of the readers, they could be very genuine readers, but they interact with your site in a very different way to normal readers. And if you're quite a new site and you don't have a sort of a large amount of traffic coming to your site currently, and all of a sudden you get a lot of traffic coming to your site, and they're just coming to your site, staying for a second or two to get the information they're looking for and then leaving, they don't sort of interact with your site in any way, they don't go to additional pages, they don't scroll down your site, they don't fill in a newsletter or share that post on social media, that can actually look like bot traffic. So that's why it's really important to be very careful around paid traffic, because even though the traffic is legitimate, sometimes in terms of the way those readers behave, because you've paid to get them to your website, so they're just looking for one bit of information. When they get that, they then go, which is obviously very different if they're searching for it organically, where they're perhaps looking for more in-depth information, go to additional pages in your website. It can look from a data point of view like it is invalid traffic. So do reach out to us, do contact your host around any bot blockers, and then we can work with you to be able to let you know what the next steps are around that. So I hope that helps, Trust News. Okay, so we're at 9:30. Thank you so much for everyone for all your questions and for joining me today. What I'll do is just wait on the line for another couple of minutes to see if any more questions do come in. If not, I will close the session early. That then enables me to go to community and answer questions there, or go to tickets as well. So Happy Kid has said, why do Ezoic ads take so long to show up on websites? So Happy Kid, we have something called lazy loading built into our ads. It's how Google has asked advertisers to load ads, and it means that readers, when they come to your website page, the content loads up first, and it loads up from the top of your screen down to the footer, and then ads load up in that same order as well, but ensuring that the content's loaded up first. Like I said, this is in line with Google's policy and how it would like all advertisers to be. It helps with your Core Web Vitals by doing this, but it also helps you with reader engagement as well. Because no reader goes to your site and says, gosh, those ads are loading up slowly, I won't ever go back to that site again. What they do is think, oh, that content's really interesting, I've been able to get exactly what I'm looking for, and been able to sign up to a newsletter or connecting with the social media, and the ads are just background to them. So that's why the ads load up in the way that they do. There are ways to speed up the Ezoic ads from loading. The most important thing is to make sure you're cloud integrated, so either name servers or Cloudflare. Make sure you're using our CDN and our caching as well. And that then enables us to be able to load up ad templates much quicker for you. So as the page is loading, if you're using our cloud integration and you're using our caching, we're able to go to the nearest CDN to be able to get a copy of your website page and not have to go all the way back to your host. So that speeds it up both from a website site speed point of view, but also Core Web Vitals as well, as ads loading. Also make sure in terms of on your website, you've got things like your privacy policy filled in, your consent management filled in fully. That enables us as well to be able to load ads up much quicker, because some advertisers won't want to show ads on your site if the privacy policy page isn't filled in, if the consent management page isn't filled in. So what we might go to an advertiser and say, hey, do you want to put an advert in front of this reader on this website? They say yes, and then come back to us and say, well, there's no privacy policy, there's no consent management, I'm going to pass. And obviously it's all done in sort of split seconds with AI, but that means that it does take an extra, sort of microsecond, and then we have to move on to another advertiser who is willing to show an ad when there is no privacy policy and no consent management on that site. So there's a lot of things that you can do there, Happy Kid, to ensure that the ads do load up quicker. And then also you've got all the functionality within Leap as well. So making sure the optimization settings are fully set up, that any recommendations that you've got on the website to either remove them or replace them are done. That's all going to help speed up the ads from loading. And obviously, with that, by working on your core vitals, working on your privacy policy consent management setup, that could have a positive impact around traffic as well as overall revenue as well. So I hope that helps, Happy Kid. Do let me know if you've got any follow-up questions. So BABC blogger said, I got approved for MCM but failed the domain approval. I can understand sometimes with the domain approval, Google's looking for specific things. And it does mean that if you don't have those specific things on your site, that the domain isn't able to get approved. But don't worry, there are lots of things that we've learned about over, I think it's been, gosh, coming on for a year now that Google has had this process in place. So we have a wealth of information that we can help you in terms of supporting you on different steps that we'd recommend you to change, and that's going to help you with that MCM approval as well. So what I'll do, we do have an article. I have shared it previously on the chat, but and it is on the screen there as well. But what I'll do is I'll go and get a copy of that. It will mean that the sound will cut out while I do that. But I will be back in just a moment. I'm still here, BABC blog, but I'll just get that article and I'll be back in just a moment for you. Okay. So BABC blog, I've popped that article into the chat there so that you can bookmark that and take a look at it later. Where we can, we do let you know within the Ezoic dashboard under the MCM tab the reason for the disapproval. And so you can go to this article. There's a menu at the top, which you can then click on, and it will take you to the specific section, which will talk you through what Google is looking for as far as we're aware around the disapproval. And you can then sort of work it through it like a checklist to be able to get all those things checked and onto your site. You can also reach out to the team as well on community. So if you're new to Ezoic, go to the Access Now onboarding assistance and troubleshooting section. If you've been with Ezoic for more than 3 months, then do head over to this wider community here, and our team will be happy to help you as well. So we've got our next question that's come in from Happy Kid, who said, I don't see why sorry, apologies, bear with me, Happy Kid. So Happy Kid has said, so I see why I don't get approved for domain approval. Can you check my website for me? Yeah, sure, no problem, Happy Kid. Are you okay if I bring your website up onto this screen here so that I can talk everybody through it? It will be shown live on the call and will be there on replay. So let me know if you're happy for me to do that. Yeah, you're happy? No problem. I'll get that done for you now. I'm just going to bring your website up. So bear with me, Happy Kid. And we can work through this together. My sound will go off, but I'm still here, and I'll bring your website up, and then we can take a look at this together. Okay, so this is hassyweb.com. So what I'll do is I'll talk you through everything that I'm seeing on here. Happy Kid, sort of good and things that we'd recommend changing. Bear with me. I'm just going to get rid of that. See if I can hide that. There we go. That makes it easier for all you folks to see it. So what we're seeing on here is that you've got about us, contact us, and privacy policy. These are at the right of the top menu, which is fantastic. This is exactly what Google is looking for. We've just got one category though around the actual content, which is just jobs. This is going to make it really difficult for Google to be able to understand the volume of content that you have on your website. So what's going to happen is Google's MCM process is done by bots to begin with. So they'll go into your site. They'll first of all look at the top of your site, and the start of your site is around the menu, so we'll be able to sort of tick off on its checklist that you've got the about us, contact us, and privacy policy page, which is why we recommend that they are put at the top there, so it's really easy for Google to find them. What Google's going to see though is that you've only got one category on your site, and so it's going to probably not go any further and just say that your site doesn't have enough content on it. And that's probably the reasons why this site is being disapproved, is around low value content. So what I would recommend doing, it looks like this website is a jobs website. You've got about 5 pages on the site. So let's have a look at roughly 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got about 50 articles on there. I think it's probably roughly about 41 with my maths. Not my strongest point, but I think it is about sort of 40 articles there. What I would recommend doing is splitting these articles out into different categories. So you see how here you've got a security guard's job, you've got a warehouse picker job, housekeeper wanted. What else have we got here? Code 1014 drivers, KFC careers. I would take a look at all the different articles that you've got on your website around jobs, and I would split them out into about 3 or 4 different categories. So, for example, you might have sales jobs, you might have driving jobs, housekeeper jobs, security jobs, and create those categories across the top here. Make sure you've got the word jobs in there, so it'd be like sales representative jobs is the category title. And then what you need to make sure, Happy Kid, is that you have at least 6 articles within each of those different categories, and that they're all only in one category. So for example, with sales representative jobs, you want to make sure that that's only listed under sales representative jobs and not also under driving jobs, because if it's listed under 2 different categories, Google will see that as duplicate content, and then they'll also stop your site from showing ads through the MCM process by duplicate content reasons. So I'd recommend taking a look at that, breaking down those categories, making sure that you've got them listed up the top here, and then try again. Happy Kid. Do come back to us on community once you've done that if you find that you aren't able to get approved, and then we can look at your site further for you. So I hope that helps. Tantan has said, hi, provide your email so we can contact you. So Tantan, the best way to get in touch with me is through most days through the community. If you're part of the Access Now onboarding, assistance and troubleshooting teams, that's if you're brand new to Ezoic, do head over to this part, and the team will be able to help you there. I'm part of the wider community, so I'll be able to answer your questions there. And then you can join me every Tuesday at 12 p.m. British Standard Time on these live sessions, and then also every Wednesday at 9 a.m. British Standard Time as well. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and where I can't, I'll make sure that you've got the next steps to be able to find the answers that you're looking for. So BABC blog has said, please check mine too. No problem at all, BABC. Please can you confirm that you're happy for me to show your website on the screen here? So just like Hassie Web, it will be live on the screen, and it will be available for other people to see on playback. And if you can let me know the name of your blog. From what I understand, YouTube blocks you actually putting your actual full website name in there. So what you'll need to do is put the word separate, so the you don't sort of put, for example, with hassieweb.com, if you wrote in hassieweb.com into the comment section, it will block it from me seeing it. But if you wrote Hassie space web, don't put the dot there, just put a space and com, that may come through okay. It was able to come through from Happy Kids, so should be able to come through for yourself as well. So BABC blog has confirmed that they're happy for their website to show. That's great. Please let me know your website name, and I'd be happy to take a look at that for you. So we've got a question that's come in the meantime from CDO May. So just while BABC blog is writing down the name of their website, I'll just go to CDO May's question and then head back over to BABC blog's question. So CDO May has said, hi Heather, my website was ad serving, was paused due to traffic concerns. I reviewed and fixed the issues. Google AdSense has accepted me back, though Ezoic has not yet. I've written an email to Ezoic team, no valid response I'm getting. So what I would recommend doing with this one is it can take around 2 to 3 working days for our team to respond around AdSense serving issues. And the reason for that is that one, they've got a wide backlog of tickets to work through, but also alongside that, there's a lot of checks that they need to do with different tools to be able to verify that the traffic concerns have been fixed. So what I would recommend doing is, if you've already waited sort of 2 to 3 days, and this is working days, so the team don't work on Saturdays or Sundays, do either reach out to us on community if you're Access Now, or if you're part of the wider publishing team, so it's level 1 or higher, do reach out to the wider publishing team. We'll be able to speak to the team for you, see what's happening there, and be able to get a response back to you. There are times that we aren't able to work directly with you, and the approvals team will want to work directly with you, but at least we can then clarify that for you, so that you're able to know what the next steps are and when to expect a reply. Okay, so BABC blog, I'm not seeing your website name coming through yet. I will give it another minute or two, just in case you're having problems getting it through. And if anyone does have any questions that they would like me to answer in the meantime, I'll be here until 10 o'clock British Standard Times. We've got about another 10 to 12 minutes together. So do let me know any questions that you have, and I'll be happy to answer them. So BABC blog, perfect, thank you. Bear with me, BABC blog. I'm just going to get that website up. I'll just mean that my sound will go out, but I'm still here. I'll be back in just a minute for you. Okay, the ABC blog, I've found bunnyabc.com. Could you confirm that this is your website for me, and then I can take a look at it? I think it is, because we've got the ABC blog there up at the top, but just want to confirm just before we take a look at this site. Perfect, that's great. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so what I'm seeing at the top here is that there's no privacy policy about us or contact us page. So if we just go back to Hassie website, you can see that there's about us, contact us, and privacy policy page at the main menu. And so this is something that Google looks out for. We're not seeing that on your website, which will be a big thing that Google will be looking out for. So I'd recommend adding those in. Also, what we've got is just a generic categories tab. So Google won't understand what this website's about, how much volume of content you have on it. And it's really hard for a reader to navigate around, which is something that Google is really focused on at the moment, is around navigating around sites. So what I would recommend doing, let's take a look at your website. So we can see that you've got a wide variety of different topics on there. So we've got AI, we've got social media, as well as Microsoft and ChatGPT. So what you might want to do is, in terms of your main menu, is have like an AI content category, a social media category, a Microsoft category, and have about 3 or 4 different categories on the top there. You want to make sure, just like Hassie Web, that you've got a minimum of 6 articles within each category there, and that no article is in 2 categories, because again, Google will see that as duplicate content and mark it as low value. Also, it's worth just double checking, and I'm not familiar with these images, so they may be open source, but please check that the images that you're using have got a Creative Commons license to them. 1 or 2 of these images look as if they may have been from websites themselves, and again, Google will see that as duplicate content and low value, and so won't allow this site to pass MCM. And what you also want to make sure is that you've got at least 50 articles on your website. Google likes to see a good sort of basis of around 50 articles. That then enables it to understand you as a publisher and what your website's about, and the volume of content that you have really helps that. So I hope that helps, BABC blog. If you do have any further questions, do reach out to us in community. We'd be happy to help answer those for you. But once you make those changes around the specific categories, and then also privacy about us and contact us page, I would recommend making sure you've cleared your clear your device's cache and your website's cache, so that you can go to an incognito page, make sure those changes have pulled through so that Google can see them, and then request a re-review of your site, and that should help you to move forward on that process. So Happy Kid has said, I have a blog which seems to be blocked from review by Ezoic. It used to be approved by Ezoic. Unfortunately, I can't submit for appeals any longer. When I submit for appeals, I don't get any response. I have been approved for MCM and domain status. So that seems strange. If it's very unusual for a website to be approved by MCM, both the overall account and also the domain status, and not be approved by Ezoic. I'm wondering if there's something on there in terms of that site that goes against our content policies. So what I would recommend doing, Happy Kid, is if you're Access Now publisher, reach out to us on community. Level 1 or higher, reach out to the wider publisher success team through live chat or tickets. We can then take a look at that for you, see what's going on, and then be able to get an answer back as to what's happening for that site. Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining me today and for all the questions. And thank you so much to Happy Kid and BABC blog for allowing us to show your websites on the screen. It really helps us to be able to give you that information and for you to then be able to take that information and make those changes. So Happy Kid has said, I'm at level 1, but my manager doesn't respond again. Oh, that's really strange. I know our team do the very best to get back to you as soon as they can. It's normally around 2 to 3 working days, although the team do try to get back in touch with you within 24 hours if they can. Thank you. You've put your website domain name there as well that you're having problems with. Bear with me, Happy Kids, because we're just about to run out of time. So what I'm going to do is write that down. 1 second. Perfect, thank you. I'm going to take a look at that after the call, and I'll reach out to your publisher success manager and ask them to get in touch with you with what the next steps are. Do bear with us. It's coming up to the Easter break now, so many of our team from tomorrow will be going on holiday for a long weekend. So if you don't hear back from us, it's just that it's been the long Easter weekend, and that's why we haven't come back. But I will make sure that I reach out to them today for you and ask them to get in touch with you just as soon as they can. So that's great. Thank you for confirming that. Yeah, no worries. I've got that written down. So I'll take a look at that after the call and make sure I reach out to them there for you. Okay, well, for myself, I will be working all over the weekend in community. So if anyone does have any questions, I look forward to catching up with you then. And next week, we've got the live session at 12 p.m. British Standard Time on Tuesday. And we've also got the Wednesday session at 9 a.m. British Standard Time as well. So if you've got time, I would love to spend time with you then and answer any questions that you have. And as I've said, thank you so much for joining me. I've really enjoyed this session and really appreciated your time and questions. I hope you have a great weekend and look forward to catching up with you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.